I'm talking today with Jacqui Huppert, who is an A-level judge, competes at Grand Prix level dressage on a horse that she bred and trained herself. She's an NCS coach on the state dressage squad and in recent years has competed in official pony dressage. So we're just going to chat today with Jacqui from each of those perspectives and get an idea of where pony dressage is going to head in the future. So I think Jacqui was about 2006 when official pony dressage came into being. It wasn't then compulsory for clubs to run official classes. That's something that's come in later. So the classes were few and far between. But I know that you were judging some of those classes in the past. So if you could just give us the impressions of how pony dressage has evolved over those years, we'd appreciate that.
Thank you. Well, I've found as an A-level judge that pony dressage has come in leaps and bounds since that first initiation back in 2006. Back in 2006, I think we saw a lot of ponies that were pony hacks that made a transition across. There were children riding ponies doing tests as opposed to a various range of riders now, these days, who are riding ponies doing actual dressage. And it's been lovely to see, and I think that's really been helped by the fact that clubs are now running separate classes for ponies, and that there are a lot more adults become interested in riding ponies, and this has helped actually grow the market for ponies and the training of ponies to make it easier for children to progress upwards through the ranks. It's really been quite lovely to see that ponies have gone from going around looking cute to actually starting to master the higher levels and becoming more technically correct in the way that they go and the way they execute their movements.
And Jacqui, you competed in pony dressage in recent years. What was your impressions of pony dressage? Is it different? Is it the same? Describe the pony and its attributes to us.
Well, I had a cracker of a little mare called Riley, she's a buckspin Connemara mare, and she was maximum height, but I thought she was just wonderful. She moved like a big horse. She had an 8 for canter. She was a funny thing. She had a real personality of her own being a mare, and she trained. She was a brilliant temperament. I could just take her out, take her off the float, saddle her up, get her on her in the warm-up, ride her around, go in the test, and do the test. There was very little fuss or bother with her. She was a wonderful temperament that way, and she trained absolutely wonderfully. I took her within a very short space of time, because I had a bit of experience, through to doing all of the medium work. We started flying changes before I had to give her up, unfortunately. And I know that my experience in training her then actually helped the little girl who took her on after me to go on quite well and do very, very well with her subsequently. She's a cracker of a pony. I miss her terribly.
And is that one of the strong points, I think, where we are seeing adult riders get onto ponies, and quite often these adults are breeders? Do you see that as important in the future of pony dressage, that we have the adult riders to breed and train the ponies, and people that are riders to select for temperament and trainability and all the attributes that we want to see in our ponies?
Absolutely. Look, I think that it's a really good, it feeds on itself then, because that's how they treat it in Europe. In Europe, children get onto ponies that are being trained by adults and then given on to children, and these children ride those ponies all the way up until they want to get onto a big horse, if that's the case. A lot of the children outgrow ponies. They're too big for ponies anymore. But there are a lot of smaller women, for instance, or older children who have the capacity to train a pony, and then they perhaps outgrow it, or they then on-sell to a child who benefits from all of that training. I think it's essential for the growth of the sport that this sort of cyclic training and reselling on, and the pony and the children gaining the experience of riding a pony that's trained is just continuing. I think it's fabulous, and it's one of the benefits of pony dressage.
And it is seen as, ponies are now seen as legitimate dressage mounts. We note now that it is possible for the young riders to be on the squad on a pony, and there seems to be not such a rush to get off the ponies onto horses, and we have some very successful ponies, and we've had ponies that have multiple titles at school level and recent wins at the national pony championships, there seems to be a tendency for some of these young riders to actually keep their ponies as well when they go onto a horse. So there must be some benefit for them doing so.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's absolutely marvellous. And the fact that young riders can now be on the squad on a pony is reflective of how much pony dressage has been developed and how much it's now being recognised as an ongoing training field for young riders. That in itself is a huge step forward, and I think that it's so important for a child to be able to take their pony and what I consider to be learn to ride. It means they can take a pony and they can do dressage, they can take a pony and they can jump, they can go cross country, they can go for trail rides, they can do sporting and gaming if they want. Children need to learn to ride in the first instance, and that riding then helps them to determine where they want to go in the future, be it show jumping, eventing, vaulting, anything. So having a versatile pony that they can do a range of sports on and come and then be purist about one or other particular sport is fantastic. And I think that again it goes towards then the ability of the pony to be handed down to the younger brother or the younger sister or to the neighbour's child or the cousin down the road, and that pony has got such ongoing learning capacity, teaching those new children to come on. And again, for women, some smaller women who don't want to take on a big horse, it's so much fun for them to be able to just go get on their pony and do what they want and do it well in any field that they so desire. It's fantastic.
And you're right, we do see some women who inherit their child's pony
Yes.
and have a whole lot of fun.
That's exactly right.
We know that pony dressage is absolutely huge in Europe. We obviously are nowhere near that, but what would you see as some key factors in us continuing to grow both the stature, the standard, the purpose of pony dressage?
I think that you have to keep it quite broad. As I said before, I think it's really important that ponies are used as a stepping stone for children who want to progress up, and they outgrow ponies. Some of the kids these days are like 6 foot tall, and so they can't stand a pony all their life, but it's really important that they can get on a pony and they can learn the technicalities of higher movements, riding correctly, and then step up that knowledge onto a bigger horse. Similarly, like I said previously, and that's how they do it in Europe. The junior riders step from a pony up onto a bigger horse, and they're quite tall as well. But then we still need to keep that market open for older or smaller people who don't necessarily want to step onto a big horse. And the way that the clubs are running pony classes for ponies is helping to facilitate that as well. I really like the European idea because it helps develop riders, and it helps, there's an ongoing cycle of market, again, as I said previously, for the ponies to be used and used and used again as schoolmasters. And it's just the way to go with it.
We certainly see some of those. There's ponies in their 20s that get rolled out with a succession of riders, and I noticed one that was certainly well into his 20s turn up at Gatton at the championships just recently. So they have certainly done as much training of the riders probably as their coaches have.
And isn't that, how valuable is that? How valuable are those years of experience of that pony being able to sell, if you like to say, and then train another generation of riders? It's just fantastic.
Well, thank you very much for that, Jacqui. Is there anything else that we should be doing for those of us that are really passionate about pony dressage? Is there any advice that you have?
Well, I think myself as a pony dressage rider, class pony dressage rider, I'd like to say that I always rode my pony like it was a big horse. I sold my pony to the judges as being a big horse. This is what we can do. Don't look at me like I'm pint size. I'm not. I'm bigger than Ben Hur. A bit like a Jack Russell to a Great Dane. Okay? So I rode her, look at me, here we are, this is how well we can go. And I think pony riders should keep that thought in mind. You ride them like you're a big horse. You ride them, look at me, here I come. And you then will make a really good impression on your judges.
Thank you. We'll certainly try to keep that in mind for the future. Thanks, Jacqui.
You're very welcome. Enjoy your ponies.